We're back.
You don't gotta be perfect, you just gotta get started. Don't overthink it. Just go where your heart is, turn your dreams and your goals. Let your goals shape how you live. Success is inevitable if you're willing to give up your own self to become someone new, to be the true you. Never be afraid to do you in front of the critics, sideline judges, non-believers, people holding their grudges. Appreciate the hate. It comes with the winning. When your wise bigger than money, you're unstoppable from the beginning. Your excuses are useless. Let your actions be part of the solution and watch the income it produces. Recognize greatness, a supreme revelation. Years of blood, sweat, and tears to become an overnight sensation. Can't do it alone. I should have said this first. Teamwork always makes the dream work. Teamwork always makes the dream work.
This is just another episode of You Don't Have to Be Perfect. And this should have been episode with my brother, Minister Kristian Craig. But for some reason, we had some technical difficulties. So the only people that got to enjoy that great episode was me and Minister Kristian. So I had to bring him back so that everyone can understand the joy and the wonderfulness that I get from speaking to this gentleman here. So welcome to the show, Minister Kristian.
Oh, thank you, brother. Likewise, I get a lot of joy out of speaking with you always. You know, we're part of the same community, and you as the happiness engineer, I know what your intentions are, and I just love to be associated with people like you who are here to spread happiness. Of course, that's what our nonprofit is about, spreading happiness through music. So it's a natural fit that we come together, and, you know, the second time's a charm. You know, second time around. So we had that great first one, and the universe wanted us to come back. So we're here.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are. Yes, we are. And I'm glad that you started off talking about, you have a nonprofit that is dedicated to musical ministry. So I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about that. I see you have on, your shirt, your Never Give Up shirt. So, tell us about the Never Give Up movement, what that is.
Well, Never Give Up started with just an idea. It started off with a question, and that's what would I tell my children that would encourage them to give them hope. And this was the last thing that I could tell them before I would leave the planet. This is my last time with them. What would I say? And I thought about it, and I said, there's really nothing else to say except follow your heart. We're all here with an individual purpose. We have unlimited potential. So whatever that is that you're meant to do, you know that. And once you find it, or at least make that decision that this is the path that I'm going to go, regardless and no matter what, never give up and keep moving forward towards that realization. And as long as you never give up, you will be forced to go through the trials and tribulations that it takes to get there. And that, in fact, I believe is the joy of even being alive. For us, we hustle so hard just to be the one that entered in our mother's womb. We had what, 300,000 other candidates trying to get in there, and we made it into our mother's womb, and we came here because we had a purpose. And my goal is just to be the soundtrack to their lives and anybody else that I care about. So I made these songs called Never Give Up, Keep Moving Forward. And there's so much testimony on how these songs have helped people, even from committing suicide. So I take it seriously, and the reason why I made these songs is because I wanted to touch people who felt defeated, because that is our power. We have the right to be happy, and as long as we never give up, we can keep control. We may not be able to control what's going on the outside of us, but we can control what's going on the inside of us all the time, 100% of the time. So just keeping that attitude of never giving up. If you get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. Keep moving forward, because you can't go backwards anyway. So that's the choices we have. Or everything that's going on, what we can control is our thoughts, how we react to things, how we don't react, how we look at it, our attitude. Do we see it as something that we're losing from or learning from? We all get the L's, but what do we turn that L into? Some would say lemons into lemonade, losing into learning. So we can continue to get benefit out of life. And guess what? You got to be on the alive list just to even experience failure. You can't experience anything if you're not alive. So first of all, be grateful that you're alive. Do what it is that makes you happy. The thing that thing that you can do all day and you forgot that you ate, you forgot that you slept. I guarantee you that's part of your purpose. And stick to that and keep doing it, because the better you get at it, people will want to pay you to come around with that service because you love it so much. And so I can go on and on about the nonprofit, but basically that's my mission in the nonprofit, is to create happiness through music. As you can see, I'm here in my studio. I got my guitar with me, my keyboard and such things, and doing what I do at home. And I just love it. And so now the next thing was, now that I know I'm a musician and I need to be a creative, and the more time I spend on it, the better I get. How can I join the two, be creative, and make the money necessary to be home to continue harnessing my craft, continue wood shedding, continue being better? Having a gift is one thing, but the discipline to make it better and to share it and know how to share it. I think, well, not only I think, but I know. Everyone knows Michael Jordan had basketball talent, but he was the first to enter the gym and the last to leave, just like Kobe Bryant. So yeah, you have the talent, but how much can you hone it and work on it? And that's a big thing. So how do we be able to stay at home? Because for me, home is my happy place. Home is where I can be creative. And it's where I feel comfortable and safe to be creative. So how do I blend the two? How do I make money to suffice myself being at home, to be creative, to follow my mission? And a lot of times we feel that, hey, because I got to go punch a clock and work 40 hours a week, I don't have time to do anything else. Time I get home, I'm tired, I'm beat. I don't have time to chase a dream. I get that. However, today's digital age makes it possible for you to sit at home and do what you need to do and still get money while you sleep, residually. That time is here. In fact, it's been here forever. However, the common man has access to it now. Just how everyone has access to their own television show on YouTube and a podcast and all these things. Look at there's no more record labels in stores. There you get your stuff streamed to you. Everybody has their own record label. I mean, you can take it as far as you want. You're writing books, you're doing things off of your iPhone and your smartphone. So it's just a great time that we're in. And because most money is moving online, I'm not saying you can't make money offline, but most of our money is being made online, even to the point of changing transportation. Everything is geared towards online services and delivering to your house. And with just a punch of a credit card, you can buy something, or somebody can buy something from you. And so that's where I'm at, being able to offer services that can allow you to follow your dream and still work and make commerce to support whatever it is that you're doing. And I like to do everything through music. So music is just like the bread. You got the meat, you got the in between, but music is like just the bread to make that perfect sandwich. Or it's that conduit. That energy is flowing. It flows better with music. Everything tastes better with a little salt and pepper. So the music is that. So I appreciate just being here, Pass, and being able to do and even have this time. When I sold cars till 9 o'clock at night. I wouldn't have been able to do a video like this. I'd be on the car lot selling cars. Made great money, but 16, 17 hours a day away from my craft, the craft that I was born with, that won't go away, that I can't shut off, that if I don't do what I'm meant to do, I'm going to be miserable, that money can't buy that happiness because I'm not following the steps of my passion, it's not worth it. At least that's what I found out. So for all those who want to follow their passion and know how and learn how to do it where you can monetize that passion, whatever it may be, I'm here to help. Mainly music, but it really, the same principles that apply to the music apply to everything.
That's so real, you know, that it's all about the discipline. And I love that you talked about being able to make money from a home, you know, and still being able to work on your music, because I think a lot of musicians get caught up in doing their craft, and it only remains a hobby for them because they don't know how to leverage it and turn it into an income stream. So I love that you mentioned that, you know, that you have been able to turn that into an income stream and just having a great community around you. So I'd love for you to talk about that community. I mean, how did you, let's, become the theme song? How did Never Give Up become the theme song to such a positive community? How did that work out? And and now, it's the song that we start and end our calls with.
Yes. Well, first of all, let me just talk about the community a little bit for those that may not know what Pastor and I are talking about. We're both a part of this community called the Grow Rich Mastermind, and we study principles on Napoleon Hill. If you've never heard of Napoleon Hill, he spent 20 years of his life studying human behavior and what makes a man successful, what makes a man a millionaire, what makes a man homeless. And he studied these principles. A lot of these principles are directly from the Old Testament in the Bible. That's the foundation of a lot of it. However, Napoleon Hill didn't want to exclude anyone by using any name of any particular deity or God or whatnot. So he'd always say infinite intelligence. We all have this infinite intelligence. It's so infinite and broad and vast we can't even comprehend it with our minds. And so he studied this and learned, and he had the right to interview people in that day, like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison and all the successful people of the day that you see their monuments and businesses around today. He had access to these people. And not only did he study rich people, but he studied poor people, as I said, people who lost it all. And he found the trait of, mainly, it's a secret in the book. And so I won't so much give the secret. Whoever wants to read Think and Grow Rich, you can find it out for yourself. But mainly it's the desire and having a desire and thinking that this is what I want and having that desire and just never giving up, staying persistent. So me writing this song, Never Give Up, and also Keep Moving Forward, it quite naturally just fit with the principles of Napoleon Hill. And nothing is by coincidence. We're all in a time where this particular group that we're in is actually changing the algorithms of what people may seem to feel negatively about. If you switch on the 5 o'clock news, we also call the Good News Network. So we're the Grow Rich Mastermind, aka the Good News Network, because we refuse to talk about anything negative. Meaning, if we do say anything, there's a positive outcome. We're not saying you can't go through certain things. I think about Joseph in the pit. We talked about that today on the call. And it's not a religious call, but you got to admire a man who has been sold into slavery and dug out of the pit, came out of the pit to actually go to a foreign land to be put in jail again, and to have this gift of being able to tell dreams and having this burning gift in him. That was his gift. And just being persecuted because of that gift, because he told his brothers he had a dream that they were all going to bow down to him. However sad it may have seemed that he was thrown into the pit, it was necessary for that pit to bring him to the palace of the Pharaoh. He had to be thrown into slavery and have a testimony of what he went through. And eventually, yes, his brothers did bow down to him because he was the second in charge of under the Pharaoh. and the whole world in that area was famished. And because of Joseph's dream, he was able to stockpile and get ready for that rainy day, that famished day. When everyone else didn't see it, he saw it. So 2 things I got out of it. Stick to what you see, because when the universe shows you something, it's yours, and stick to it. And that's why I say work from home, because you can stick to it as long as you got time. If you're running on a rat race, punching the clock, and you're out of control, and you're trading your time for money because you need to eat, that's going to be very hard to be creative. Not impossible. Many people have done it before us, but we're living in a different time now. So I got 2 things out of the story out of Joseph. Do what's on your heart, and you will have to get into a pit. Everyone has their certain pit. I don't know if it's poverty. I don't know if it's I can't find a job right now. I don't know if somebody's got my children, custody of them, and I want them back. I don't know if I'm dealing with some type of illness or serious. Whatever it is, that's your pit. And through that pit, you can make it to your palace, as I got that from Brett Hudson, another one of our dear friends in our community. He gave me that great analogy, and I said, hey, I'm going to take that and use it. So I'm giving credit to Brett Hudson for saying everyone has that pit that they have to endure to get to the palace of their destiny and their desire. So that's what I got out of Joseph, that we all have that Joseph story. You may be in your pit right now. You may be at a job that you don't want to be at. My encouragement would be to stick where you are, but learn the trades of what's going on through our community. I didn't make this up. I didn't invent the wheel. I'm just going over people who are proven millionaires, and money ain't everything, but we got some debt-free millionaires and people who are getting residual income through the internet, because the products that you need, like a website, first of all, you got to understand that, hey, if you're going to get in the game, if you're going to play football, what they tell you, coach say, get some cleats. I got everything else for you, but you got to get some cleats, a couple of things you got to get, and then I got that. What you got to get is a website. You're going to need a bank account. You can't have money dump into your bank account if you don't have one. So things like that is very simple. You can take it from kindergarten level all the way up to a doctorate as far as how you want to market. But basically, if you have a link, something for sale, and you know how to talk to somebody, like I'm talking to the past right now, or you know how to Facebook chat, or if you know how to just have a conversation with someone and genuinely show care, where these people trust you, or you know some people, friends and family, and you have this offer that can provide residual income, like a website that you pay on, like you do at Netflix. If you value Netflix, you pay every month for it. If you value your cell phone, you pay every month for it. How much money do you get commission off of your cell phone if you refer somebody to your cell phone plan? AT&T, do they send anything? T-Mobile, I don't think so. But HBA, Home Business Academy, gives you 80% if you get their website, which you have to have a website. I don't care what you do. You might be a musician like myself. You may write books like Happiness Engineer. You may, whatever it is you do, if you're going to get into the online business or in the online realm, you have to have a website. And so that costs. If you go to GoDaddy or any of these people that offer websites, you got to pay $30 a month, $25 a month, right? Do any of them cut you a check back? No. So that's our community. Our community existed even before the business. Our community existed in a phone call called the Grow Rich Mastermind that Pastor's a part of. We get together at 8 o'clock, Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock Central. And we talk about the laws of success. Because wherever you go, you got to take yourself with you. Some people want the magic key so quickly. They want to know what button do I press to be successful? We can give you all the buttons in the world, just like the people who win a lottery. And then what happens? The next year or two, they lose it all. Why? Because the mindset isn't there. You can't give a poor man $1 million because he's going to treat it like a poor man. And he's going to get back to the level he is. You cannot rise no higher than what you have learned to, and the level you've learned to rise. So in saying that, having a community of people who have already there, who've already retired, who are already making residual income, money as while you sleep. You work one time and it keeps coming in. That is there. So this is the community we're in. It's not said, not just about making the money, it's about our principles, because It's all about being happy. And so with Never Give Up, it's about never giving up your right. You have a right to look at a situation where you won't let it depress you. You have a right to look at a situation where you won't let it put you in fear. You have a right to be happy. So never give that up. Who can take that from you? Who? Only you can only give it away. Like they say, the devil don't come in unless you invite him. You can only give it away voluntarily, but nobody can take your happiness away. I don't care what they strip from you. They can't take what's in here. Ever, never. So obviously, isn't that the war? Isn't that what's really going on? Not so much with the wars and things that happen across the seas, but isn't it the war for our attention to get us to concentrate on what it is that they want us to concentrate on? I don't really care what they want me to concentrate on, because again, I'm here for what? What would I tell my friend, my children, and people that I love if I was leaving today? And every day I feel like that, because tomorrow's not promised. So what am I doing today? Never give up. Whatever it is, that's my flag. And so now that I made these songs, and I loved it so much that my ancestors said, go ahead and start a company called Never Give Up Entertainment. And that's what we do. We do other things like I walk on stilts, I sing and play. All that's the benefit of nonprofit. We sell candy. I got this KC Kitchen. We do praline candy. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a New Orleans delicacy, nice little candy that we make. And so people get that, like the world's finest chocolate. It supplements what we do. All kind of ways to stay home. And just speaking on that, away from the community for a second, most states have college laws. They want you to stay home, believe it or not. If you know how to make a cookie or some type of chocolate, or you know how to make pickles, or there's a certain list that they give you, but they don't mind if you go make 30, 40, 50, 60,000. Check your area, but it's too easy to make something. Yes, there's a million chocolate chip cookies out there, but I'd want to buy yours, Paz. If you make a chocolate chip cookie, I don't need to get Famous Amos. I want to buy Famous Paz's, the happiness engineer, right? So we all know people. So what this community teaches more than anything that I love is getting an email community started, your own. Meaning put your vibe out and find your tribe. You're going to find your tribe of people through the vibe you put out. It happens like we're doing now. This video is going to be forever. 20 years from now, somebody can watch and say, wow, I like what Kristian was talking about and Paz was talking about. Let me check in to see what if that's real, does it still exist? Because a lot of times you can tell somebody, hey, man, you can stay home and make money. You don't even have to go to the mailbox for this. You wake up and you just check your account. Woo, look at man. And that's how people are living, because they offer a service that people want and they voluntarily continue to pay for it, like your Netflix, like your cell phone. Nobody got to tell you to pay your cell phone bill. You're going to keep it on because you know it's necessary. Nobody's going to tell you to keep your website up because you know you need your website to bring in your candy orders or your music orders, or I'm selling books through my website, or I got poetry shows and I need to let everybody know where I'm going to be next week. You have to be able to talk to people. And through using this service, which is not just like a utility service, having a website, having a presence, having some digital real estate, by having your presence and only paying $25 a month, when you refer somebody and they do the same thing, you get 80% of that, which is $20. Now, on my level, I'd like to help 100 people right now. If I can help 100 people right now, 50 people right now, that's $1,000 if I help 50 people. If I help 100 people, that's $2,000. Is there anybody out there can use $2,000 a month that comes in whether you get up and go to work or not? That can save a lot of people from having a second job, or how they're going to pay for food and daycare at the same time because I'm going to school to get my master's and I got to work. This is saving people's homes. A lot of people don't have more than $500 saved in the bank. And that when I got that statistic, that was 10 years ago. I'm sure it's a lot worse now. So if we're in a country that's in $1 trillion of debt and they're our role model, then what do you think people are doing? The culture is debt, and debt equals slavery. Debt equals sin. This community doesn't do debt. We don't do debt. We're not saying that you can't go out and get a mortgage. You got to do what you got to do. But there's ways we show you how to pay that mortgage off instead of 30 years, 15 years. Instead of paying a total max of $400,000 on a $100,000 house, You can get out paying maybe $150,000 to $200,000 on a $100,000 house. You know, it's being able to live like you need to get out of debt. Many people, we want to get in debt and still live. I don't know what the saying is. If I had the person here that tells me that, I'd say it, but it's like you only live once. And then they got the acronyms for it, YLON or whatever the case. But you can't, I get it. You only live once. But you can't live like a millionaire, live like that when you have debt. So once you get out of debt, you can truly be free. Right now, the only bill I have is a cell phone bill. Meaning I'm in a house that my family owns, has a mortgage on it, but we're renting it out. So the person who's renting it pays the mortgage, pays the utilities. Therefore, if I had to kick in and do something, I would between my brothers and I, but we don't because the rent takes care of that. So technically, I don't have that bill. The only thing that's not covered so far that I would say is a bill is my phone bill, but I make, but we make enough money through the corporation, through music, and still gigs that it pays for things. I don't need a lot to live. And so another thing, when you think about being free, what does it take? If you only have $1,000 worth of bills every month, then once you start making $1,100 or $1,100 a month, then you pretty much just sit home and work. The thing is having time to think, having time to slow down. You're going to figure it out. So you don't need a lot. You know, I do a lot of walking. I used to have a car. I used to make $80,000 a year selling cars, but I Uber most places. And that's if I have somewhere definite to go that's paying money, or I sit home. And if I got to go somewhere to the store, I love to walk. Oh my God, I've lost 20 pounds in the last, 90 days just walking everywhere. I enjoy it. And so everything is a benefit. Everything is where it's supposed to be, no matter if you're in your pit or if you're in your palace, because sometimes even when we're doing good, that could be the time when we might do worse because we're getting caught off guard. So whatever season you're in, no matter what you're going through, as long as you never give up, keep moving forward, keep advancing to that next level, it's possible. And I believe when I say create music and create happiness, I believe that being at home, doing what you love, and also creating it, making it monetary, well, that is your passion and it's what's paying you. It's a win-win situation. You can have all the awards, the Grammys, and everything else. I don't need that. If I can stay home and do music and record songs and do private parties and get with my tribe, I don't need millions of people to find out about me. If I have a core 100 people that love me, if I have a core 1,000 people that love me and that will buy $10 a month on something, 1,000 people spend $10 a month on something, maybe a membership, something that I have. Something where people will give you a few dollars a month to be a part of that membership. People have their Patreons. And they start out by just doing videos and giving value. Don't think about how much I'm going to make right now. Think about what can I do to generate the things that I need? What kind of service can I give? I'm not saying X out the money. If you know you need $3,000 a month to sit home because that's the bills you have coming in, write it down. By the first day of, like we say in our community, I will have $3,000 a month. And we just keep saying it over and over. And it works because of these affirmations, because what we put out, we bring about. Energy flows where focus goes. And once you get on a certain frequency and you start flying high, then you will get the benefits. There's no isms in high frequency. It's like, well, you don't match the what I think you should look to be successful or fly high. No, it don't matter. No isms. If you vibe on faith and love and shining your light and being the best and being all that you can be, then that's where you will be. And nobody's going to kick you out of that club. You can only kick yourself out. So we want to keep flying high and we need reinforcement. So our community that we're in does that. People like Paz and Paul Hutchings and Mike Hobbs and Wanda DePaulo and all, man, you got to come check it out. We'll leave a link to the website for you or the call that you can check it out. But this community helped me know that I can stay at home and live my passion. And what really spurred me more than anything was the last pandemic. Come on, y'all. Some of y'all say, well, I could never do that. I'm going to work my job. What about when your job don't want to work you? You may want to go to the job, but for many people, the job wasn't there anymore. They shut down. Many people who was working out now see that, hey, they can work from home now because they didn't have an office to go to because everything shut down in 2020. So I never, ever want to be caught off guard, nor would I want my children caught off guard. There's always going to be those so-called essential services. But why hope and pray that you become essential when you can be essential right now at home? I think it's essential that we work from home and not depend on any corporation or government to ever help us again in life. But that's just me. And, everybody has to make the decision on which road to go. I'm not saying any is right or wrong. Follow your heart. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Just let us be the background music to never give up. Keep moving forward in your aspirations. And I'd be very, very honored to be a part of your life and your business, because that's all I want to do is bring joy and happiness, just like you, Pass, the happiness engineer.
Oh man, humbled, and I love that you talked about the pit, and also being able to go from from the pit to your throne, right? And really being on top, from the pit to the palace, and the support this community provides during those times. Because there was a time when you were in the pit, and it really defined who this community was, because you were in a pit, and this community got behind you, to support you. So that $25 a month that you were putting in, probably came back 1,000-fold, but it wasn't even about the money that was invested, right? But the way the actual community got behind you. So I'd love for you to talk about, that experience, if it's not too harmful.
No, it's not at all, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I wasn't even thinking about that, and that's one of the gems about this community. I wasn't even a part of the business side of the community when I was in that particular pit. So this community invested in me and believed in me and sent prayers out to me even before I was into the business side of it, the HBA. It was just being on a Grow Rich call. And of course, by then they were playing our songs, Never Give Up, Keep Moving Forward. And I never wanted to be a part of a business, because I've been hurt by these network marketers. You get your groove on and you start telling people, hey, this is the best coffee out there, or this is the best this and that out there. And you start telling them how they can buy this and free themselves and empower themselves. And then they disappear. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to disappear on me. So I'm not going to follow anything but what I want to do. And that's music, write books, documentaries, things like that, be creative, and help people just do whatever it is they want to do. So I was at that point, and so happened, actually the same time that the pandemic happened, I was unlawfully arrested. I call it unlawful arrest, a kidnapping is what I call it. When someone takes you on false charges and things like that, they kidnap you, but they call it an arrest. And I said it was a kidnapping where they wanted a ransom, because their ransom was $300,000 bail. I'm like, what? All false charges. So it was beyond me. It was just, I was amazed. I guess that was the pit I needed to be in, that the creator needed to show me the inner workings of how the justice system can be. I'm not saying it's like that all the time, but in this particular case, when I was in Las Vegas, it gave me a whole new meaning about their slogan. What go happen in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, well, I had to stay in Vegas because I was on house arrest on false charges for 13 months. I had an ankle bracelet on. And before that, it was 6 months in their jail. And I was lucky to get out of the jail to even be outside on house arrest, where at least I have my phone and I can start doing my own research, because later I had to fire my attorney because he was just trying to send me to prison for 25 years on false, fabricated charges. The type of court system that even when you had the evidence, they wouldn't even let it be submitted. Like, no, if you don't file and do a plea deal on this felony with a 2-year probation, that's all we're taking. You got to go to jail for 25 years. And I'm like, well, let's take it to the jury. So that's how I kept going. But during this time, my community, as past would say, normally people, they write you off immediately. You know, well, we're going to have to take Kristian songs down because he's in a little trouble right now and seems like he did some things that were unlawful. We don't want that to represent us, so let's take the music down and let's just kind of, you know, disassociate ourselves with Kristian. Please don't bring his name up. Thank you. But that didn't happen in this community. This community embraced me, wrote me letters. We started to GoFundMe. They, you know, put in hundreds of dollars that helped me to even get an attorney to get out, because I had to have my bail dropped from $300,000 to $25,000, because $300,000 they wanted what is it, 15%, 20, whatever. I had to come up like 50 grand to get out. That wasn't happening. I was sitting, and I can see how easily a person can get on false. They come grab you off your porch, out your car. They make up all this stuff about what they found, all these fake charges. Now you're in jail on some bond that you can't afford, but you got to go to work tomorrow, and your wife and kids are missing you. So what do? Do you sit there and fight when they're going to keep every 2 weeks, they're going to push it back when you're in there for 6 months to a year? Or do you go ahead and take the felony so you can get back to your life and take care of your wife and new baby? So I get it. That's why you got a 99% success rate. But it wasn't going to be, I was going to be that 1%. I was going to fight it. And I did. And I ended up getting off the case. And we did settle, but it was to a misdemeanor, which I would have did from the beginning, you know, for impersonating a police officer, because I had a badge. I was working with a Native American ministry, and that's another story. If you want to hear about that, maybe we could do another segment on that. But Pass even saw me. Pass came to Las Vegas. I was wearing the headdress and the robe and the ministry and everything. I was doing my thing as a marshal, which I have every right to protect my members. But anyway, the FBI and Las Vegas police didn't see it that way, and they put me in jail. So I fought that for a long time. They tried to label me a domestic terrorist and different things like that. But eventually I got out of it, and it was during COVID, which was one of the worst times because you had to wear a mask. So you're sitting, imagine you judge, you're the judge. And I'm sitting here with 200 people wearing a blue mask. And I can't even speak without permission. If I speak too much, they're going to put me on mute. And I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at a pile of files, knowing I'm just a number. So I can see how people can get lost in the system easily. And being during the pandemic, it was crazy. But this community stuck by me 100%. They even gave me this award called the Iron Soul Award. Now, and there's only been 2 given out. But they gave me the Iron Soul Award, which they praised me for my endurance. And basically, it was endurance because I did fight it. And I fought it for almost 2 years, and this community stuck by me. So when I got out and I got free, I said, you know what? I'm going to join HBA just because of the loyalty that this community showed me. And that's when I joined. And now I see what it's about. I'm like, whoa, like, man. The light went off because now I see that it's about websites and it's about empowering people in whatever they do. Our business fits with any business. If you have a real estate company, if you have a training course, or whatever it is you do, you need a website, and we offer that. So being a part of that, that's one way to make residual income. But this community also teaches you other things, you know, how to flip cars, how to flip real estate property, how to get rentals. You know, our whole culture is get out of debt, create an empire for yourself and a legacy to pass on to your children. That's all it's about. Get out of debt and build an empire and a legacy for your children. If that's not what you're interested in, then maybe this community isn't for you. But I know somewhere in the scriptures, and I'm just kind of quoting and paraphrasing, but it said a good man or a person is going to leave a legacy for his children's children. Going to leave inheritance for his children's children. So that's where I'm at. And so if you're into that, and you want to know how that you can gain your freedom, because it's all about freedom, and freedom was ever it looks like to you. Like I said, some people can be free off $1,000 a month. Some people can be free with an extra $500 a month. For some others, it may take longer, but that freedom is possible. And if there's one thing I learned, because on every side is negatives and positives. When I was in jail for that 6 months, I saw how I could live off of one bowl, one fork, one spoon, 2 underwear, 2 pants, 2 shirts, 2 towels, and books. And as long as I was eating and had a place to sleep, I was living. So I'm not saying to go to that extreme, but what do you really need? Right now, I'm living in my family home where my father he was a chiropractor. This was his office. I was in Dallas for 17 years after Hurricane Katrina, but I'm back in New Orleans in my family home. And I don't have to pay anything. So I'm very fortunate. All I really need to do is eat food. I wear the same uniforms. I got, about 20 of these, but I'm just saying, I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear. It's like, you go through the closet, everything, I never give up on it. So, and I do my music. And so between that and starting the kitchen, whatever it is that you can do something. That's why I'm talking to your audience. You know how to do something. Pat, you told me about the girl, I think 5 years old, start learning how to make bracelets. And through making bracelets, you didn't have any intention on buying bracelets, but she came up and said, look, I got these bracelets for you. Here's my cash app. You just hit me up when you can. I left it on your desk. Go out and do it. There's nothing stopping us, only ourselves. And now, because of the internet and HBA, we have the tools to do it. Yeah, beautiful. Yes. So, and not only just people that I sell candy all over the country. I got people from New York, Pittsburgh, Florida, Louisiana, all over, because I can ship it USPS. And so that happened instead of me. I used to go knock on doors because I used to sell this candy about 20 years ago. I used to knock on doors and say, hey, can I put my candy in here where you can sell it? And most places with non-soliciting and things like that. But I don't need to do that today. I don't have to leave my house. I cook it. I do a quick video on Facebook. Next thing you know, people are like, how can I get it? Okay, we're Facebook chatting. Just what flavor you want. Here you go. Here's my cash app. A lot of people are getting paid that way. Not so much through pastries, but you offer a service where someone will gladly cash app you some money if your service is worth their time and their energy. And if they appreciate your energy, you're going to get something. You may have to start off by giving a lot of things away just so people know that you exist. But at some point, those seeds of giving will return. Maybe not from the same person, but you cannot give something in this universe and have it not return to you. Unseen virtues bring visible rewards. Things you do in the dark will come to the light. Any seeds you plant will harvest as long as you plant them in the right soil. Mm-hmm. So the community is our soil. We are planting seeds. We are fertilizing our soil through the principles that we learn in this community. Everything is there. So we get our mindset, our motivational things, the injections to keep us on track. I'm lucky enough and fortunate enough to host on Tuesdays, which we call Keep Moving Forward Tuesday. Take Action Tuesday, where we just remind people that action is what it takes. Meaning, you want to take action, meaning you want to first be. Know who you are. Be that. And then learn that by the books. Be, learn, do, have. Once you know who you are and you start to learn it, then you want to teach it. You want to do it, and then you want to teach it. So somebody who is in 5th grade can teach something to a kindergarten. Somebody who's in high school can tell somebody in junior high about what's it like to be in high school. Someone who has a doctorate can tell someone who is aspiring to have a doctorate who only has a master what to expect. I mean, you can take it from any level. But what I'm doing now in my situation where I'm saying work from home, I want to show people like the baby boomers and the Generation X people. Like I'll be 57. Many people who are 57 are baby boomers. They don't know how to send an email. They don't know how to attach a photo to an email. They don't know how to separate files where they can find their family pictures real quick or send a message. So people call on me to find out things. And the only reason why I can tell them is because I've been through the mistakes and I know about it. I'm far away from that genius level, but I know enough when someone asks me, well, how do I do this? Or how do I send this? Or how do I print? How do I find the print screen to print something out off my phone? Simple things, but they're important things because I was there once where I didn't know how to do these things. So because I'm going to just share my journey of what I do musically and what I'm doing to put it on Spotify, YouTube Music, all that is a process and it takes time. Nobody's going to do it for me. I must do it myself until I can get a team of people, which that is on its way. However, knowing how to do things yourself, God bless the child that has his own. Knowing how to make the website yourself, knowing how to make music yourself, knowing how to put it out there, knowing how to start a YouTube channel, knowing how to do a Facebook advertising. All these things are in our community of HBA. So what I'm doing is going to the library of Home Business Academy, and I'm learning, and what I learn, I'm taking to people who don't make it to the library. Because what I'm getting from the community, you can get it, everybody else can get it. But you're not because you don't know about it. And even if you did know about it, you still have to make up your mind that you want to go there. And for me, it took years, even though I'm in the community, it took me years to get into the business side of it because I just wasn't ready. So now that I see what's going on, I'm on a mission to help people get online. The people who are tired of punching the clock and working for the man somewhere in a different land. When you're traveling, you want to be home with your children and just be there and just, don't have to ask permission to use the restroom and take a lunch break and all those type of things, and stop trading your time for money, because if you're not making yourself rich, you're making someone else rich. If you're not working on your project, you're working on their project. I'm not saying we can't help each other, but many times the job, you don't have a fair slice of the pie. So if you want a fair slice of the pie and get more compensation for your imagination, then I can help you do that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. More compensation for your imagination. Yes.
Yeah.
To be able to do that. And I told you this time will go quickly, where we have about 12 minutes left. The hour goes by rather quickly, when we're expressing ourselves, and especially talking about this great community. $25, right, saved our lives. It was free for us, and we continue to build into something amazing. But I don't want the time to go by without giving you the opportunity, if you want to express yourself musically, the opportunity, because like I said, we have about a little bit over 10 minutes left, so if that's something that you wanted to do before I went into any other questions, please feel free.
Well, I would always take this opportunity to sing Never Give Up for those who haven't heard it. And you can hear it on our call. But it's just one of my favorite songs. And everything has its time. I know that this song is out helping people. In fact, Booker told us about a guy who almost committed suicide, a truck driver. And I had these type of testimonies that will go on, my website, because I'm getting it together, because I'm learning how to do websites myself. I'm not a genius in this, but there are videos that I can watch. And if I can't get it by watching the videos, there's a community that I can go to live. And I can talk to the owners of this company and get all the answers that I need. So I'm just thankful that we live in this time. And this is our time. We're in a golden age. And if you have dreams and aspirations, if you never give up, you'll get it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It takes faith to make your dreams come true. Life has something special right here for you. Everything has a season, a reason to grow. So don't be discouraged by your obstacles. And never give up your right to be happy. Never give up. Be all you are meant to be. Things will always come to get us down, and it only gets worse when we start to frown. Let's keep hope alive in our hearts. Smile with gratitude, that's when the magic starts. And never give up your right to be happy. Never give up. Be all you are meant to be. Never give up your right to be happy. No, never give up. It's your life for eternity. Never be defeated even if you are mistreated. Stand your ground right where you are. Don't give up on your dreams, no matter how hard it seems. Move forward and follow your heart. Follow your heart. And never give up your right to be happy. Never give up. Be all you are meant to be. I'll never give up my right to be happy. No, I'll never give up. It's my life for eternity. I'll never give up.
Never give up, never give up, never give up,
never give up. Never give up, never give up. Never give up, never give up. Never give up. You say never give up, never give up. 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 Yay!
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me do that.
Yes,
and I'm telling you, every time I sing it, I feel better. And that's really what I'm pushing now for my community. You know, there's a lot of things that I want to do and I plan on doing. However, to me, it's one brick at a time. You know, you build it. And so now I'm building it with a gift. And this is the song that I want to introduce people to. You know, and it's for people if you feel defeated. You know, if you feel like you need something to hold on to, you can hold on to these songs. And so that's what it is. That's what's available. And I'm just gonna keep growing from there, you know, keep doing what it is that my mission is. And it doesn't matter whether people understand or not. At some point they'll get it. And even if they don't, so what? You know, we just keep
even
doing.
If they don't, we'll never give up, right?
We'll never give up. We'll keep moving, you know, and people get it when it's their time to get it. It's not me saying, you know, you need to get it now. You know, whether you get it or not, that's really on the individual. My thing is that I keep shining my light. I keep putting it out there. And at some point, they'll recognize, you know, wow, it's like, okay, now I see what's going on. Now I see what this person's mission is. For me just to tell people and try to convince people what I'm supposed to do, it's a waste of time, you know? I mean, it reminds me, and I won't say the word on live television, but a honeybee doesn't waste time explaining to a fly why honey is better than what he's attracted to. So honey is what I like, and I'm not going to try to convince somebody that it's not something good if they don't recognize it themselves or want to recognize it, or like working from home may not be the thing that people want to do. They may want and to do what they do. They may like the lifestyle that they're in. They may like being in a corporate job. For me, all that was full of so I'm not part of the corporate, punch a clock, have somebody tell me what to do, when to do, how to do it. And I'm so glad that I don't have to do that anymore. So I'm creating the life that I know I was meant to live. And because of the community that we're in, I have lots of support in making sure that happens. So all I want to do is keep passing on the favor to people who aren't aware of that. It is possible to stay home, work on your passion, and monetize your passion. Whatever it is, we have the tools to fit your purpose.
I love it. I love it. And as we're getting closer to the end of the show, I don't want them to go by without being able to find out how to get in contact with you, how to possibly work with you, any websites or information that you want to share so that people can, find you after this episode.
Well, you can always go to nevergiveupentertainment.com to get your free songs, Never Give Up, Keep Moving Forward. And then it tells you other things we do if you want to support the happiness mission. And, just put in your name and your email and you'll get the songs, and we'll start sending you our newsletters as they come out to let you know what we're doing. And it's all about encouragement. So, we offer things, but it's not like you have to do anything. We just want you to be a part of our community, and want to do everything we can to make it enlightening to you and make it worth your while. So you can definitely, find me there at nevergiveupentertainment.com as we continue to grow. Social media, my handles are Minister Kristian. So on Facebook, it's at Minister Kristian. YouTube at Minister Kristian. I am a music minister. I'm serious about it. I love, just being able to know what my ministry is. Some people have a ministry of cooking. Some people have a ministry of being legal, political ministry, or whatever it is. Whatever you do, I believe is your ministry, and you should look. It's good to look at your passion and things you do as a ministry. So music is my ministry, and it's what I do and use to help the world. So my handle is Minister Kristian, and I don't use a lot of different platforms right now. It's just Facebook. Luckily, Facebook bleeds over into Instagram. So a lot of people are telling me they see things on Instagram, but I never check my Instagram. I know a lot of people are very successful and they just do Facebook and that's it. And YouTube, or just YouTube, or one or the other, or both. And so I'm good with that. And as I learn more, I'll do more. And as I do more, I'll teach more, right? So I don't know everything, but what I do know, I'm an open book, and I want to help other people just make music and work from home.
Oh man, Minister Kristian, we want to thank you. We want to thank you for all you shared. We want to thank you for singing Never Give Up for us. And before we leave, we want you to say our personal manifesto with us. This is something that we do every episode with all of our guests. It's our way, like you said, to put a little bit more happiness in the world, a little bit more confidence in the air, a little bit more love in the spirit. So I'm going to say it first, and then you can say it after me. So our personal manifesto goes like this. I love me. I'm worthy. Some people may not like me, but I don't care, because the people that matter will be glad that I'm here. So
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
I love me.
I love me.
I'm worthy.
I'm worthy.
Some people may not like me.
Some people may not like me.
But I don't care.
But I don't care. So what?
Because the people that matter.
Because the people that matter
will be glad that I'm here.
Be glad that I'm here. Yeah.
And I am glad that you were here with us, Minister Kristian. I'm glad that you spent an hour with us. I don't know. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to get started. I'm glad that you shared from your soul. I'm glad that you sang a song with us. I'm glad to know you. So before we sign off, I'm going to give you the final word.
Well, I unplugged my iPad because I want to show you. This is what I do in GarageBand. I can get up to 32 tracks, all right? I got a song right now. If you go on iTunes or Spotify, you'll hear Never Give Up. You'll hear Keep Moving Forward. There's some other songs that I put up there. And I'm continuing now because I'm going through DistroKid. And DistroKid is not the only distributor. You know, you have CD Baby and TuneCore and Ditto and United Masters. Everybody's getting hit to the game where, hey, they know that you created it, you own it, and so now they're doing what they're intended to do and just be distributors. I'm not necessarily talking about or looking to make any money so much on streaming. I just want the music out there because I do a lot of private parties and I want to be able to have a portfolio of things that I do. And it just says, it feels good to say, hey, go, you can check my music out on iTunes or YouTube Music. And you can do all this from your cell phone. So that's what I love, a cell phone or iPad. And what I'm saying is that you can always, since it's digital information, you can transfer these tracks to a major studio where if you want to pay $200, $300 an hour, fine. You know, I'm not saying that it ain't gonna work, but what I am saying is that you have no excuse. You don't have to wait, because if you have an iPhone or iPad and GarageBand and you have a quiet place to record, people will listen to your music even if it's not. And mastering is cheap these days. You can master a song for $5 and have it on the same level as some of the Mariah Carey and different, I don't need to mention names, but some of the major releases. I'm listening to things that I've done on the GarageBand once I've mastered it, and it's ear appealing enough to go ahead and run with the big boys and the big fellas. And if people like me, yes, they'll come to my shows, and they do come to my shows. And they're putting so much power in these iPads and cell phones and smartphones. You can do great documentaries. Start shooting a film. I can give you a list of films that are already out in Hollywood that have been shot with an iPhone. So it is possible that we don't have to make a lot of money to put our message out. And you don't have to talk to the whole world. Just talk to the ones that you know how to help based on your experiences, and everyone can use someone's help if they know a little bit more than what they know. So everything is here, and I just want people to follow my journey. I had a choice to make, past. Either I wait and be this big successful person in the eyes of other people and then tell my story, or I can say, hey, I know where I'm going. I got the community that's going to help me get there. I got all the tools to do it because I'm doing it. Maybe not on the level that's going to be internationally known at this moment, but right here in my community, I'm doing it, and I'm coming through. I'm showing up. I'm coming true and holding on to my promises. I got people that respect me and love me because they know I'm going to show up and be there. I got some things that they like. You know, they like the music and the creativity that I have, and I'm here for them. So put out your vibe, create your tribe, and as long as you come from a level of intention of service, what can I do to help someone? It turns into monetary. And as long as you have things set up like a bank account and a website and a way people can cash app you or PayPal you, and you offer something that's worth being PayPal to cash app, then you're gonna get the money. You're gonna always attract the people in your life that you need through the services that you intend to give. And when you give more service than really even what it's worth, that's when you start to get money. When you give more value than they even expect, then that's when the money is going to flow in. And you'll figure that out. And it's good to have a community that's going to support you along the way.
And there you go. And that was Minister Kristian. So you don't have to be perfect. You just have to get started. If these videos are something that inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, right?